handy spot. I believe on Macs it has a couple different locations. It might have things, so you might have to do a search to figure out where exactly everything is. But once you find it, you can just do a search for preset or do a search for MacGamut, and you'll come up with all those MacGamut files. Make sure that it's the right class, because in the resource room you'll have a couple different classes as options for the presets. Make sure you're using the right one. And they'll ask you, are you sure you want to do this? Because it's going to erase all your progress once you install this preset. You don't have any progress at this point, so that's what you'll want to do. So essentially every semester you go back down to level 0 and work with a new set of presets for the next class. So we'll reset it, and then I'll say you'll probably need these libraries, which you'll have already downloaded from Moodle. Say okay, okay. Now a step has been skipped here because I already have those libraries installed and I've already run through the program using those libraries. After you click on OK for the presets, it'll ask you what libraries do you want to use with this preset. And so you'll have to individually go, here's the melody library tab, find that file you downloaded for the melodies, use that library, and you'll have to go through each individual library, so you have to link it to each of the 3 libraries that you have. So that will be the next step. So get the correct preset, and then you need to select the 3 different libraries. It's very easy to follow. And once you do that, then it'll do that screen where it'll do a sound check. If you're not hearing anything, then something is wrong with your sound, and you need to adjust, double check if the mute has been selected or not. It's a very common issue. If not, like my computer here, I use other music software programs on it that like to claim the speakers as their own, so sometimes I'll have to restart or completely do a hard reset of the computer to let MacGamut use those, free them up. So there's some different issues you might run into. The website for MacGamut has a lot of frequently asked questions on there for technical difficulties. I recommend going through all of that before emailing any of us with your problems, because likely the issue can be solved there. And likely we won't be able to help you with your particular issue because it might be a hardware or software issue with your particular computer, and we're not tech gurus, or at least I'm not about them, but the best place to check is on MacGamut, their website, and they have people on for IT that respond very quickly and efficiently that will ask you questions about your device and the program that you're using, and they'll be able to fix it quickly. There are some issues that have come up that with new versions that they come out of MacGamut with updates, with bugs that they didn't foresee that they need to address, so it can happen.
One thing I found last year, which hopefully won't be an issue this year, because we're only going to have one preset, but you need to install that preset, because if you don't, everything's not right. You're doing the wrong program. Yeah. It's very important from the beginning. Last year we had that trouble.
Yeah, once you get it set in place, it's easy going, but otherwise we won't be doing the right assignments, essentially, if you don't have the right presets. Then you'll have to start back all at 0 again afterwards. All right, so we heard something, which means that the speakers are working here. So once you click on OK, then we have all of the different options to go in and work on. This is where having the list of assignments is going to be helpful, because each assignment has what levels for whichever task you need. So for instance, next week, you need to pass intervals level 1 and scales level 1. So you will need to visit intervals and scales only for next week's assignments. You can visit anything else you like, but it won't count towards the levels that you need to pass, although it would count for the time that you need to spend practicing, so at least 50 minutes. So if you get done with scales and intervals really quickly and want to go explore the other options, by all means, feel free to use the question.
So on Moodle, it has, like, you said you don't have to do intervals and scales, right?
Right.
On Moodle, is it on there, like, intervals, blah, 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 something like that?
Yep, it'll be a list of, for MacGamut assignment number 1, you need to pass intervals level 1, scales level 1.
Okay.
It's on my syllabus, everybody in my class is to be.
That list is not.
Oh, that list is
It
not.
only says MacGamut 1 is due this day, MacGamut
Okay.
2 is due this
This
day.
list,
So you need to post either under each assignment upload page or just post that PDF.
I'll post the PDF.
Yeah, post that. And do the new one with the additional information.
Okay.
As well, so you can see exactly what it is. So intervals level 1. Let's see what that looks like. So clicking on it, we are only doing ever oral skills or oral training here, not any of the other exercises for your whole career in music theory here. So that is the only tab that you will do as an option here. And you'll notice there are 6 levels, but only 1 is an option at this point if you're going to pass it for credit. And throughout the different weeks, you have different tasks, but the first 6 assignments each have an interval level that you need to pass. So that will be the first 6 weeks you need to pass all of these interval assignments here. Notice that there is choose exercise mode, regular, or practice. If you click on practice, it won't count, but you can do as many exercises as you want, and you can pick and choose how many of what options are available. You can pick and choose any level that you want to practice as well. You can also set some parameters depending on the exercise that you're doing. But you need to be in regular mode if you want it to actually count.
will practice mode count as time?
It will count as time, yes, but it won't count towards what they call
Okay.
mastery. So if you're mastering a level, that means you're passing it for credit. So if we're doing it for credit, make sure that that is an option. We're going to make my own drill. So for these intervals, say if fourths and fifths are giving you a problem and hearing the difference between them, you can make your own drill and just isolate fourths and fifths. Here are all the different intervals they have. You can just click on perfect fourths, perfect fifths, and then when you run the drill, it'll only give you those specific intervals. Yeah.
This is kind of backtracking, but once you have it, you don't have to buy it for another class. It's always
Correct. You'll just keep using the same one, and they'll have periodic updates for them, but we'll just stick with the same one. Same with the textbooks. What you have now is what you'll need through all the theory classes. All right, so let's see what it looks like then to actually complete an exercise. So here we have lots of different options. Notice correct notation not required. Of course, for melodic dictations and rhythmic dictations, harmonic dictations, notation is required. At this point in time, notation is not required for intervals. You can try them and check your work if you want to practice doing that, but the only thing you need to do for this level to pass it is just to click on the correct interval that you are hearing. And you have 3, it'll give you parameters here, 3 hearings total. As you click on play, it'll count that down to how many you have before you need to actually give an answer. So let's see what happens when you click play. So that was 1 of 3 hearings. You can play it twice more if you need it. Let's do that. Anybody got it? Know what that means?
it's some. I think it's
Descending perfect fourth. So You would click on key 4 for perfect fourth, check answer, I got the green light, go ahead, that means I got it right. Obviously if it's wrong, you'll get red. Down at the bottom, you'll see a row of, blocks. That's how many you have to complete to achieve mastery. You can't miss more than 2 out of the last 10, so you need to get at least a B to pass this. You need to get 8 out of 10 correct, and then you can move on to the next level. So if you're good at it, it might take no time at all. If you struggle with it, you might have to do it multiple times to get at least 8 out of 10 correctly. So after you complete it, it gives you the answer, it gives you the pitch. You can see exactly what it looks like, and you can replay it as many times as you want. I don't see it up here. I don't know why it didn't automatically pop up. Usually when I open it, usually a keyboard pops up with it whenever I open the program, and you can actually click the keys on the keyboard and it'll play those notes. So if you're not around a piano, you can do that. I don't know why it didn't do it here. It might be the screen size or something. Let's see it. Let's go on. Second. The answer is a perfect fifth. But let's say you're confused by the sound and thought it was a perfect fourth. It's a larger, pleasant sounding interval. Also pay attention to the title of the level. This level is seconds through fifths. So everything from a minor second through a perfect fifth. So there's not going to be anything larger than that. But let's say you're confused. You said it's a perfect fourth. Check answer. It is incorrect. So then it gives you what the correct answer is. Play correct. Had you put the pitch up there, you could actually play the wrong notes and compare it to the right notes.
Maybe that's where the piano comes in or something.
Let's see if it does it. Yeah, since I didn't input a pitch there, it didn't play the perfect fourth. You do have the option, if you are not satisfied with the sound of the digital piano here, you can change some instrument sounds, but I recommend sticking with the piano sound. Some of the other sounds are a little questionable and harder to hear, I think, but you may connect better with some of the other sounds, so you can toy around with that while you're practicing and see if any of the others are acceptable. I want to say if you do have other software programs with MIDI capabilities and MIDI sound banks that you can even import different sounds. Haven't played around with that yet, but feel free to do so if you have such technologies. You can exit before mastering it, or we'll do that now, but usually you just sit there until you got the 8 out of 10 correct. So you also need to complete scales. Scale level 1. Notice there is only one level. This is the only week that you're going to be required to work with scales. After this, you'll be actually doing melodic dictation and rhythmic dictation. So this is just kind of a nice, easy-going week. You only need to pass the interval level 1 and scale level 1. So it's more of just an introduction to MacGamut to get you going here and get all the bugs worked out before you actually have to start doing anything a little bit more difficult. So let's see what this looks like. So you get 3 hearings of a scale. Correct notation is not required, so you only need to click on the correct scale that you're hearing, the 3 different minor scales and major. So it's obviously one of the minor scales.